Hey guys, Ed here bringing you part 4 of What If Deku Was a Super Soldier. There are going to be some Easter eggs, so I hope you guys enjoy. That said, let's get into it.
Fearless.
Where last left off, Izuku helped Izumi more efficiently than All Might, and she was ready to do the entering exams, while Izuku stayed behind as his 95-year-old mother had a heart-to-heart moment. He brought her home, and he made a phone call. Meanwhile, with Gran Torino, he was enjoying his breakfast, but was interrupted by his phone call, seeing that it was Izuku. So Riko would say, "Izuku, how can I help you?" Izuku would say, "I need a favor. Could you help me?" So Riko would say, "Sure. Ask me anything." Izuku would say, "My mom pulled a fast one on me, and let's just say that she brought up some good points. So considering that All Might called you former sensei, and I found out from Izumi that he went to UA, which happens to be the same school she was going to this morning, I'm assuming you were a teacher there." So Riko would say, "I'm impressed. Yes, I used to be a teacher at UA." Izuku would say, "What do I need to get in?" So Riko would say, "Well, normally the entrance exams, but you would have needed to send an application via middle school, but there are some recommendations that would allow people to skip the entrance exams and bypass the applications necessary. And I'm glad to say that I'm technically could recommend you. All you need is a hero outfit and you're all set." Izuku would say, "Okay. And also another thing, could you help me get in contact with Professor Bart's shield?" So Riko would say, "Why would you want to get in contact with him? From what I heard, he passed away 14 years ago. But if you want to get in contact with the Shield family, Toshinori is a good friend with David Shield." Izuku would say, "So his name is David? Alright. Send All Might my way whenever you get a chance. I'll be waiting at Dagobah Beach." As Izuku sat on the shore of the beach, reminiscing from when he and Nana were in middle school, they went together at the same beach. The more Izuku focused, he could definitely see his past self in Nana. And then he pulled out a ring, and he stared at it, with nothing but regret. Izuku gazed on the ocean for mere seconds, but seconds turned to minutes, and minutes turned to hours. And that's when a booming voice interrupted his thoughts. All Might would say, "I am here!" Izuku wiping his eyes, he would say, "Jeez, Toshinori. Plan on giving me a heart attack?" All Might would say, "I didn't mean to. Wait, why were you crying?" Izuku would say, "Don't worry about it. I just went down memory lane. This place brings back memories." All Might, curious about the ring, but not wanting to ask about it, he would say, "Got it. Gran Torino told me that you wanted to see me." Izuku would say, "Yeah, I was told that you're friends with David Shield. If so, could you tell me how to get in contact with him? Or introduce us?" All Might would say, "Fine, but young Izumi must come as well." Izuku would say, "Alright, but where to?" All Might, with glimmer in his voice, he would say, "To Ai Island." After All Might told Izuku about Ai Island, they got the tickets, and after a few hours of flight alongside Izumi, being very fangirlish, they finally arrived on Ai Island, and greeting them was none other than Melissa Shield. Melissa would say, "Uncle Might, long time no see and you brought guests. What brings you here?" All Might would say, "Well, let's just say he did. He wanted to meet your father." Melissa, looking at Izuku, would say, And who might you be? Izuku would say, my name is Izuku Midoriya. People refer to me as the first hero. I'm assuming that you're David's daughter and Bart's granddaughter? Melissa, annoyed, she'll say, yeah, the name's Melissa. And what does the first hero want with my father? Izuku would say, simple. I need a major update to my gear, considering mine is outdated. Where can I find him? Melissa would say, just follow me. I want nothing to do with you. Izuku would say, wow, must say, you're radiating hospitality just like a summer breeze in the meadow, where Bambi's mom was shot in. Melissa rolled her eyes as she brought the guests to see David in his lab. Melissa would say, Dad, you got visitors. David would say, not now, I'm working on something. Melissa would say, I guess that you don't want to meet the first hero, Izuku Midoriya. David would say, wait, what? Izuku Midoriya? Melissa would say, yep, him. He is here to talk with you. David, coming out to meet the group, would say, Toshinori, long time no see, and you brought the first hero with you. What a surprise! And who might you be, miss? Izumi, fangirling, she would say, oh, I'm Izumi Midori, nice to meet you, Professor Shield. David would say, blood relative of the first hero, I see. Melissa, why don't you leave Mr. Midori with me while Toshinori will keep you girls company, eh? The trio left the lab, leaving Professor Shield and Izuku by themselves. David would say, I must say, it's quite the honor meeting you, Izuku. I heard that you were half the reason on why I have my name. Izuku would say, to be fair, I didn't like the other options, nor did I know that your parents were a thing back then. I was simply asking a random question. They would say, well, whatever the case was, shall we get to business? Izuku, opening his briefcase, would say, yes, I need some serious update to my gear. The only thing that are functional are my shields, as you can see. My uniform, I can't move without it ripping. My gun, unable to fire, and my dagger, it can't cut paper wet, and it could easily snap at any moment. Dave would say, I see. Well, just tell me what you'd like and I'll have it done by next week at the latest. Izuku would say, great. How much would it cost me? David would say, to you, half the reason I have my name, a family friend, my idol. If you were to sign some autographs for me, we can call it even. Izuku agreed and he started to give directions for his outfit, and we skip over to Melissa and the others. Izumi would say, I think I've seen you before. Melissa would say, oh yeah, now I remember you. You're the person Four Eyes called out muttering during the President Mike's explanation. Izumi would say, so wait, are you trying out for UA? Melissa would say, yep, I sure am. And without a stupid quirk. Izumi, shocked, would say, what do you mean, without a quirk? Melissa would say, I'm quirkless, but just because I don't have something doesn't mean I can't make something to make up for it. Izumi would say, but how? Melissa would say, UA allows people to bring support items during the entrance exams as long as you got proof that you made it yourself. Izumi would say, what did you bring? Melissa, smiling proudly, she would say, I thought you'd never ask. Melissa dragged Izumi to her personal lab and All Might followed, only to find a lab with several broken iron suits. Melissa would say, this is my iron suit collection. All Might would say, but they're all damaged. Melissa would say, yeah, test drives, and that is MK06, the one I used at the entry exams. Izumi would say, so wait, you made these? Melissa, showing off her bracelets, she would say, and these as well. These are the MK Gloves 03. I made these just in case I don't have my suits with me. As the demonstration of Melissa's suits went on, it reached the point where they had to leave. And as time flew by, Izumi got her acceptance letter and got into Class 1A. And that's when the first day arrived. Ida, walking in robo-style towards Izumi, she would say, my name is Tenya Ida. You are a far superior student than I. If you'd risk everything to save that girl in the exams, it must have meant that you've seen something that we didn't. Izzy would say, it was nothing, I simply couldn't watch her get hurt. Aizawa, annoyed, he would say, enough, you chatted for long enough. Now shut up, put these on, and meet me outside. In the guys' locker room, simply happens as per normal. On the girls' locker room, Ochako walked up to Izumi and she would say, Izumi, was it? Thank you for saving me. That 0-point robot would have actually squashed me. Izumi would say, no problem. I would have done it regardless. Melissa would say, I'm glad to see that you made it to Class 1A, so I can see for myself if you're like him. Ochako would say, who do you mean? Momo would say, I'm assuming she is talking about the first hero, Izuku Midoriya. I'm curious. He hasn't made a public appearance despite coming out of his imprisonment nearly a year ago. I, for one, am curious to know how he survived. Melissa would say, however he survived, he got lucky. Because my dad was looking at his old gear, and he said something about his gear becoming fragile. Mina would say, do I sense tea? Melissa would say, don't you even. I hate him. Momo would say, why do you hate him? Melissa, getting annoyed, she would say, I just do, okay? Izumi would say, I can tell you were a little hostile towards him, but only after you told him his name. Mina would say, wait, you know him on a personal level? Izumi would say, of course I do. He's my grandpa's brother, and he helped train me for the past 8 months. Momo would say, I guess we should get going, because I believe Mr. Aizawa is already angry at us for some reason. After the girls finished changing, they arrived in the track field. Aizawa would say, alright, I'm going to test you to see where you all are. And you'll be doing a bunch of tests that you've been doing since grade school. But, unlike your previous schools, you'll be using your quirks. Any questions? He would say, Sir, shouldn't we go to orientation? Aizawa, annoyed, he would say, if you want to go through useless ceremonies, you should have gone through regular high school. Here in UA, we do things differently. Mina would say, this is going to be fun. Aizawa's eyes twitched, as he would say, fun? I'll show you fun. The person that gets last place is going to have one-way ticket out of my class. Ochako would say, but sir, that's not fair. Aizawa would say, fair? Do you think natural disasters and villains are fair? As heroes, it is our job to overcome that unfairness. Let's not waste any more time and let's get started. As Aizawa's test started, everyone showed off their potential, and Izumi, having 1.5% of One For All, managed to get into 5th place overall. As the last place came to Rikido Sato, Aizawa would say, alright, as I mentioned before, last place gets kicked out of my class. Rikido Sato, gather your things, starting tomorrow you'll be going to the general course. One would say, I thought that you were going to say that it was a lie, so to basically make us go all out. Aizawa would say, nope, I was serious. Besides, it's best to kick out someone with the least potential from the get-go, so we could have someone else join us instead. Mina would say, who would that be? Aizawa would say, a transfer student, and you'll be seeing him next week, probably even sooner than that if things go well. As the students were asking themselves who would be joining them, we cut over to Izuku at Gran Torino's house, after hours of shopping. Izuku would say, you really think I need all this? Sorihiko would say, of course you do. Besides, you managed to get a property and build a house. You need to finish it. Izuku would say, I told the construction company to not make it too many rooms. Sorihiko would say, but they were following your instructions on the blueprints of the house you wanted. It's 10 minutes out of town, basically almost in the middle of nowhere. You have no neighbors for miles. Izuku would say, I know, I'm isolated, so I probably don't have to worry about paparazzi or random people asking for autographs. And when I get nothing to do, I can just relax. So Rico would say, we both know that you aren't able to relax. You're always going to do something. Izuku would say, enough, I still need time to adjust to the new society, so I'd rather live far from it. Besides, I'd rather listen to nature than people or machines. Todoroki would say, fair point. So, are you ready? Izuku would say, ready for what? You know, to start school again. Izuku would say, not really. It's kinda scary. Todoroki was shocked. He would say, going to school? Wow, that's a first. Izuku would say, no, it's not that. But in any case, are the preparations ready? Todoroki would say, yep, your hero outfit was sent yesterday, and your school uniform arrived this morning. Whenever you'd like to start, just let me know, I'll be accompanying you. Izuku would say, good. Then there's only one thing I have to do. As several days flew by, we cut over in Class 1A. All the students were chattering in the background. As Aizawa entered the room, Aizawa would say, alright class, listen up. Principal Nezu just informed me about your new classmate. He's in the principal's office as we speak. So, I want to tell you guys to not overwhelm him. And Miss Midoriya, I was told that you are well acquainted with him, so if anything, I need you to help him out if necessary. Izumi blushing should say, me? How am I supposed to know him? Aizawa would say, as I said, I was told. Because he mentioned your name. The speaker would say, Mr. Aizawa, please report to the principal's office immediately. I repeat, Mr. Aizawa, please report to the principal's office immediately. Thank you. Aizawa would say, keep the chattering to the minimum. I'll go fetch the new kid. As Aizawa left the classroom, everyone surrounded the poor Izumi. Mina would say, so, Izu-chan, who's the mystery boy? Izumi would say, Mina, I don't know. I haven't met him. Besides, I don't have many friends except for Ka-chan. Baku would say, whatever you say, nerd. Leave me out of it. Mina would say, all the more reason you should know him, since you don't have many friends. Who do you think would join our class? One would say, well, it could be that they were childhood friends and he probably had to move away and recently returned. Tokoyama would say, not to be a bother, but that would be the case for a regular school, not a hero school. Tsuyu would say, he's right, Kero. If anything, they're probably bumping someone from Class 1B or the general course. Todoroki, putting in his 2 cents, he would say, unless he's someone very important, like for example, All Might's secret love child. As everyone started to laugh at the statement, Aizawa came into class. Aizawa would say, everybody take your seats and shut up. Some of you know him, some of you don't. As long as you are here, he wants you to treat him as a fellow classmate, not by his title or achievements. He's still getting used to it around here, so, as I mentioned, do not overwhelm him. Everybody looked at Todoroki's direction thinking that he was right. But as Aizawa called the mystery boy in, the class was even more shocked to see Izuku, the first hero, in front of them, in their classroom. To be continued. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more. Turn on the bell notification to be updated so you never miss a video. That said, peace out.